Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen me properly as well as there's no issues with my audio or the video, please let me know. Hello everyone, I hope that I'm live right now guys. If you guys are able to listen me properly as well as there is no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. No issues whatsoever? Okay, great guys. Awesome. So how are you guys? How was your day? How are you guys? Is everybody fine? Is everybody great? Please let me know. Thank you so much for wishing Happy Teachers Day, but actually not a teacher, guys. Just a particular person who enjoys interacting with new people. So I do it like that. Okay, don't consider me as a teacher. Consider me as a friend itself. So when the friendship day comes, do wish me. That will be more than efficient for me as well. Okay. But nevertheless, how was your day? Was your day good? Did you guys do the assignment that I gave you guys yesterday? Please let me know. I gave you guys a small assignment, right? And did you guys complete that assignment? Please let me know. Did you guys complete the assignment, guys? Please let me know. So, what was the assignment, guys? Can somebody let me know what was the assignment given in our yesterday's class? Can somebody let me know what was the assignment that was given in our yesterday's class, guys? So the assignment was pretty simple. We wanted to put in an emoji in place of our bullet points inside of our unordered list, right? So what is the code for that? Those who have completed the assignment, can they share the code in the live chat, guys, so that I'm able to rectify it? Can somebody put that code inside of the live chat so that I'm able to see if you guys have done the same or not? See, even if you have not done it, it's totally fine. Okay. I wanted you guys to be a little bit more serious towards what we are currently doing. Okay. But nevertheless, it's totally fine. Okay. Okay, so Malini has done the assignment correctly. Malini, that's absolutely great. The answer is absolutely clear as well as correct. Of course, in the assignment, you guys had to venture into the realm of CSS that we are going to learn from today onwards. So there's no issues in that. The same assignment we will be doing in our tomorrow's class as a side project itself, just to see how we can use CSS to add a particular emoji as our bullet point list itself. But Malini, that's really great. You have written the exactly correct answer as well. That's really great, guys. So make sure that whenever you go into these realms of like CSS or something topic that is new, try to read as much as about it, because the more that you read, the more you will understand and how to like use that inside of your project as well. These assignments are not meant to be something that is causing a disturbance. This is meant to be something that basically enhances your knowledge about a particular topic itself and increases your expectations as well as your enthusiasm for a particular topic. Okay. Okay. So can we do a quick recap about what we have studied in our last class? Like what we have studied in our yesterday's class? Can you guys give me a quick recap about what are the different things that we have studied in our previous class, guys? Please let me know. Can you guys please let me know what have we studied in our yesterday's class, guys? Please let me know. We started out with the basics of HTML tags. Good. We started about we learned about DOM tree as well. We learned about OL and UL list. Good, guys. We learned about HTML heading, that is the head tag, as well as the title tag. We learned about the body tag. We learned about the heading tags, division tags, lists. Good, guys. We also learned about attributes within a particular tag, right? For example, changing the type of an ordered list, changing the starting point of an ordered list, reversing an ordered list as well, right? So all are these things are something that we learned in our yesterday's class. We learned about images. Now, when we were looking at images, if you guys remember it correctly, the image was very big when compared to our screen, guys. Do you guys remember that? Let me open our code for you guys. This was the code that we were using yesterday, right? So inside of here, if we remove this and we use the image tag once again, img, which was a self-closing tag, if you guys remember it correctly, right? src, that is our source, and we'll put up the source as our asta. I hope so that was the name, asta.jpg. And then we had our alt alternate text, asta. Okay, and this was the website that we created. Let me open that into a new page and let us save our code right over here. So as you were able to see on our website, the image that we had loaded up appears to be very big in nature, right guys? Okay, I'm very sorry I have not shared my screen. I forgot to do that. Okay, so let me do that. You guys were like, sir, we don't want to see your face anymore. It's really very ugly. Okay, so right now I hope so that I'm very small and the screen is very large, that you guys are able to see everything clearly, right? So nothing else. I've just written the same code from yesterday, guys. That is for the image tag itself. And along with that, I've opened up the website on which, as you're able to see, this is the 100% of the website. So the image is way too large for our website itself, right, guys? The image appears to be way too large for our website. Now, yes, you can change the height and the width of a particular image from directly HTML as well. But this is something that you should always avoid. For example, let me show it to you guys so that you guys are able to understand. There is another attribute called as height, and we can fix up the height to be, let's assume, 100 pixels, and we can save this right over here. And we can go back to our website and refresh our page. So as you're able to see, now the image is of 100 pixels height. We can increase the height to, let's assume, 1000 pixels as well. Let us save this. We can go back to our website, refresh the page. As you're able to see, now the image is coming up to be of the size of our screen. We are easily able to see it on our website as well. But the problem with this is we are using HTML to change the attributes, change the styling of our website, which is usually a very wrong way to do it. The reason why CSS was introduced was due to the fact that everything is well organized. Whatever structural changes you want to do, you do it with HTML. Whatever style changes you want to do, whether it be just adjusting the height and width of an image as well, that should be done using CSS. But nevertheless, you can directly change the height and width of a particular image using HTML as well. That is what I've shown you guys right over here, just by changing one of the attributes called as height and width. But this is a very wrong way of doing it. Okay, so if somebody asks you that, okay, is it possible to change height and width using HTML? Of course, the answer is yes. But of course, why we shouldn't be using it? Because HTML is meant to be just the structure of our website. All these style changes that we need to do, that needs to be done using CSS. So let's start with our basics of CSS right now. Okay, the first thing that we'll be understanding is there are three methods of incorporating CSS within your websites. Okay, the inline styling, then you are having the internal styling, and then the external styling. Okay, we are going to look at all the three styling types right now. Now, please try to understand this. We will be explaining what is the benefit of which type of styling, when to use what. But right now, for our purposes, we are just trying to understand how can we incorporate, how can we put styling within our website itself, how can we attach CSS or put in CSS inside of HTML. So the first way of doing that is called as the inline styling, guys. As the name suggests, the CSS is present in the same line as HTML code. That is the reason why we call it as inline styling. Let us try to do that right now. For example, for this image itself, right now we have converted the image back to the original. As you are able to see, it is pretty huge for us. We want to change the height of this image. So what we can do is we can go right over here. Inside of the image tag, we can put up an attribute called as style. Okay, style, style attribute. And then we can just put in our style, that is HEIGST height is 1000 pixels. Okay, a simple style change we are applying right over here, and we are putting in the CSS in the same line as our HTML code. So for example, we want to apply the changes to our image tag. We are selecting the image tag. We are putting in the style attribute for our image tag, which specifies that the height should be 1000 pixels wide. Okay, 1000 pixels in height itself. That is what we are specifying right over here. We save this. If we go back to our website and refresh our page, as you're able to see, the style is getting applied to our image. Let's leave an image. Let us take up a particular h1 tag itself, just to keep things a little bit more simpler, a little bit more easier itself. Let us take an h1 tag right over here. Inside of the h1 tag, let us put up, this is a boot camp on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at it from our website. First of all, we're going to save this. We're going to go back to our website and refresh our page. So this is our h1 tag that we are able to see on our screens right now. Now our task right now is that to change the color of this particular h1 tag to be red in color. So let's go back and let's try to do that. We're going to apply the style attribute, style style, and we are going to fix the style up to be color is red. Okay, as simple as that, guys. We are choosing the h1 tag, we are applying the style attribute to it, and we are selecting the color should be red in color. Now please try to understand this, that this particular code that you have written right over here is your CSS code, and this CSS code is of a particular just like in English you have grammar, right? That even if you are, so my grammar is very fucked up, as you are able to see my English is not that great. If you properly listen to it, you will be able to find a lot of different grammatical errors that I make at any particular point of time. So in a similar manner, when you're reading a book or a particular essay as well, if there is a lot of grammatical errors, you will find it very difficult to understand what the author is trying to say. In a similar manner, when it comes to programming, there are certain grammars in programming that you need to follow. The technical term for that is your syntax. So for our CSS, the syntax is very simple. You are selecting the attribute color and you are changing the color to be red in color. So you put up a colon in between them and a semicolon at the end of it as well. So if we basically save this, we go back to our website and refresh our page, as we're able to see, the color of our h1 tag changes to be red in color. Again, here we have used inline styling because the styling is in the same line as our HTML. Let us try to understand what is your internal styling, guys. Okay, so internal styling is very simple. Basically, what it says is that the CSS is not in the same line as your HTML code, but is in the same file as your HTML code. Okay, you are having an inline styling, then your internal styling. Internal styling basically means the CSS code is in the same file as your HTML code itself. For example, now what is CSS? Think about it. CSS is also adding a little bit extra information to your website, right? You shouldn't see the CSS code on your website, but it is adding the extra information. It is also like a metadata, guys. It is also like a metadata. Why? Because whatever CSS code that you're writing, it should not appear on your screen. We should make those changes on your website itself. And that is the reason why your CSS code goes inside your head tag. Inside of your head tag, you create a style tag itself. You create a style tag and all your CSS code will now go inside of this style tag. Now let's assume that I want to change the h1 tag from red in color. So I'm just removing the inline styling. Okay. And I want to change the h1 tag from black in color to, let's assume, blue in color. So for that, what I'm going to do is first I'm going to choose a selector. Here the selector denotes which tag do you want to select and apply the changes to. So I want to select the h1 tag right over here. So I'm selecting the h1 tag and then I'm going to write the declaration statement. Okay, I'm going to declare all the changes that I want to apply to the h1 selector itself, to the h1 tag. Now this declaration statement, let's assume we want to change the color to blue in color. Okay, that's it. I want to change the color to blue in color. So H1 is called as the selector. The color blue is called as the declaration statement, and one of these blocks is called as a rule set. Okay, one of these blocks is called as a rule set. Now why a rule set? Because you're setting a rule for what that selector should apply the conditions to. Now these three terms, that is a declaration block, a particular selector, as well as a rule set, is something that is a technical term, guys, and you guys need to remember it. Okay, you guys need to memorize it. These are technical terms that exist and you need to memorize it a little bit. Okay, so your H1 tag is the selector. Using that, you select a particular HTML tag. Your color blue is a declaration block. You are declaring what are the changes you want to apply to the H1 tag, and this entire set of one block of code inside of CSS is called as a rule set. Okay, so now that we have made our changes, let us go back to our website and refresh our page itself. As you're able to see, we are having the H1 tag now in blue color. Now that we have seen internal as well as inline CSS, we now need to understand what is external CSS. As the name suggests, the CSS lies in another file and HTML lies in some other file itself. That is what external CSS means. That is, CSS is outside the HTML file. So for that, we have already created a particular file called as style.css. If you guys remember it, this is the particular file. Just like your .html file, this is called as the style.css file, guys. Inside of this file, we are going to have all our CSS code present. So for example, let us start with the most basic stuff itself. We are going to select the H1 tag once again. We are going to apply the declaration block. That is the changes that you want to apply. That is color. Let us change the color to be green in color, guys. Okay, and we are going to save it. Okay, so now the problem is that your CSS exists inside of some other file, guys. Your CSS exists inside of some other file. You need to understand that when a website, okay, when a web browser like a Chrome browser or an Edge browser or Safari or Firefox or Mozilla, any kind of browser that you're using actually only reads your HTML file. It does not read the other files. Now, please try to understand this. This is a concept that you need to understand, that your Chrome browser, whatever browser that you're using at any particular point of time, are only able to read the HTML file. Now, when you look at this particular HTML file, is there any reference to another file called as the style.css file? Please let me know. Is there any reference to another file called as style.css file, guys, inside of our HTML file? Please let me know, guys. No, right? So if we go back to our website and refresh our change, there's no change on our H1 tag. It is not coming up to be green in color because there is no reference. Your browser does not know that there is a style.css file that is also present right over there. So we need to link both the files together. To do that, it is absolutely simple. Again, go inside of your head tag and put up the link tag right over here, guys. I'm going to put up the link tag right over here, guys. Again, link is also can be created as a self-closing tag. It does not require any kind of content inside of it. So it can be a self-closing tag. Now, inside of the link tag, there are multiple different attributes that we need to point out to. The first particular attribute is the relationship. What is the relationship between the index.html file and the style.css file? For that, the attribute is rel or relationship, guys. Okay. So the relationship is very simple. It is a style sheet. Okay. The relationship between the index.html file and the style.css file is that the style.css file is the style sheet of index.html file. The next particular attribute that we have to mention right over here is the href. Okay, or your hypertext reference. Now, this is basically a reference to where that file is currently present. Okay, where is the file present right now? Now, here for the href purpose, we are going to provide it the reference to our style.css file, guys. Okay, we are going to provide it the reference to our style.css file. Now, if we go back to our website and refresh our page, as you're able to see, now the browser is able to read this link and is able to see that, okay, there is another file called as style.css that we need to link right over here. It reads the style.css file, it applies those changes right over there, and hence our h1 tag is coming up to be green in color. So could you guys let me know what are the three different methods of adding CSS to our website, guys? What are the three different methods of adding CSS to our website, guys? Please let me know. What are the three different methods of adding CSS to our website? Could you guys let me know? Inline, internal, and external. Very simple to understand, right, guys? Any now I will be explaining which one to use and what not to use as well. You don't have to worry about that. But before we are able to do that, right now I'm going to take up your attendance. Today, you guys will be having just 5 minutes to fill up your attendance itself. The attendance link will be present in the live chat right now. The attendance link will be closed exactly at 8:42. Okay, the attendance link will be closed exactly at 8:42. Today there will be multiple attendances in the class. So I'll be taking up one attendance right now and one attendance at the end of the class as well. So if you guys miss any of the attendances, we will not be able to provide you guys with these certificates. Okay, so even today you are going to have multiple attendances, guys. If you miss any one of the attendances, you will miss out on your certificate. Okay, so there will be two attendances in today's class, guys. The attendance is open till 8:42. At 8:42, I will be closing the attendance. So please start filling up your attendance right now itself. Like I said, guys, today there will be two attendances in today's class. If you miss out on any one of the attendances, you will not be able to get the certificates. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. It is not day two, it is day three itself. Do not worry about it. I've changed it right now. The form is completely fine. You guys please start filling it up right now. Okay, the day two that you are able to see, that was just a mistake. Please start filling up the form right now itself, guys. Like I said, that was just a mistake. You guys can ignore it. Okay. Again, guys, that was just a mistake. You guys can ignore it. Please start filling up the form right now. At exactly 8:42, the attendance will be closed. I'll be providing the attendance link for 1 more minute, then I will stop providing the attendance link as well. Okay, please start filling up your attendance right now. In the meanwhile, if anybody has any questions or queries for what we were learning up till this point of time, you guys can put it up in the live chat. I will try to answer that right now itself while people are filling up the attendance. Okay. If you guys have any questions or queries, you guys, if you're getting a traffic error, you just have to refresh or reload the attendance. I hope so that you already knew about that. Right? The link is for your attendance. Again, the day two, it's just a mistake. Do not worry, just fill up the form properly. Explain inline file again. There is no inline file. There is no inline file at any particular point of time. Inline styling, basically, you are putting up the CSS in the same line as your HTML code, but you never have to use it. You just need to know what is it. Okay. How to link external CSS to HTML? That is what we did right now. We just linked it using this particular line. I explained each and every part line by line as well. If you're not paying attention in the class, I can't do anything about it. Again, guys, there will be multiple attendances in today's class. I can take up the second attendance even after 5 minutes as well. Okay. The attendance link is in the live chat, guys. I'll be closing the attendance in the next 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, guys, just 1 more minute left. After that, I will be closing the attendance form. Is this video recorded? No, it is not recorded. Okay. Hello, Toto. What happened? आजा नहीं आना ठीक है okay just 1 more minute guys then we'll start with our class just 1 more minute guys then we'll start with our class guys meet Toto. He's one of the cats that I have. He bites a lot, but yeah, he's one of the cats I have. I have 3 cats and 2 dogs. So yeah, he's there. His name is Toto. He loves to roam around all over the world itself. He never likes to be home. कैसा है बच्चा सब बढ़िया जिंदगी सही चल रही है you want to sit you want to go whatever you like okay okay so today those students who are late in the class who don't attend the class properly they were not able to fill up the attendance I really like that about today's class okay and let us open up the screen once again so let me share my screen entire screen and share. So I hope so that you guys will be able to see my screen once again. And let's continue with our class, guys. Let's continue with our class right now. Okay. Okay, so let's continue with the class. Now that we have understood there are 3 methods of adding CSS to our HTML. What if a person adds all the 3 types of CSS into his project? Okay, he has built a particular website. He adds all the 3 different styles, like all the 3 methods of adding CSS he is using inside of his code. Let us see that right now. What do you think will happen? Okay, there's inline CSS, there is internal CSS, there is external CSS as well. So if I'm saying that in the inline CSS, the h1 tag is red in color, in the internal CSS, I'm saying the h1 tag is blue in color, in the external CSS, I'm saying that the h1 tag is green in color. What do you think will be the color of our h1 tag, guys? Please let me know. What will be the color of our h1 tag, guys? Please let me know. Will it be red, that is inline? Will it be blue, that is internal? Or will it be green, that is external, guys? Please let me know. Many of you guys are saying red, many of you guys are saying blue, many of you guys are saying green. So a lot of different confusion that is there. Let us change the question, guys. Let us change the question. Let's assume Deadpool is Mike. Okay, let us bring Oscar right over here. Let me give you a very good example. Where the fuck are you, Oscar? We need you. So yeah, the Oscar, Susie, Lucy, everybody has vanished. We don't have anybody right now. Let us take the example of Goku. Okay, let's assume that I am the father of this Goku itself. This is the friend of Goku, and you are some external person itself that is just outside the family. So if I say that okay, from today Goku will wear red color clothes. I'm his father. I'm saying that from today, Gokul will wear red color clothes. His friend is saying from today you will wear green color clothes. But you guys are saying that he should wear your friend is saying that he should wear blue color clothes, and you guys are saying that he should wear green color clothes. So what will be the color that he will be wearing? Because I'm the father, I have the most priority. I'm basically the closest that is there to Goku, right? I'm basically the closest that is there to Goku. So Goku will be choosing to wear red color clothes itself. Okay, Goku will be choosing to wear red color clothes because I'm the closest to it. I'm the closest to it itself. Now, if I'm not there and his friend is saying that, okay, you wear blue color clothes, and somebody else, a third party person walking on the street, is saying that, okay, you wear green color clothes, then he will listen to his friend because he is the next closest to it. The green color clothes, that is the external file, is somewhere else. The external person is outside the same. Okay, he's not even present inside of the picture. He's not even close to this particular person as well, guys. Please try to understand this. The inline is just next. Okay, it is the closest to our HTML. As you're able to see right over here, if I have put up an inline CSS itself, it is the closest to our H1 tag. So it has the most priority. If I'm using internal, it is the second closest to our H1 tag. It has the second highest priority. And the external is basically present in some other file itself. So it has the least priority out of the three. It has the least priority out of the three. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. I actually wanted to use one of my cats for the example, two of my cats for the example, but both of them ran off seeing me. I don't know why. So I had to use what was available for me for an example. Okay. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Great. Now, let us try to understand that why it is a good saying in the community itself. Never you should be using inline or internal CSS. It should always be the case that you should always be using external CSS only. Okay, please try to understand. This is a statement and I'm giving it to you guys. You should always remember it. First of all, never to use inline or internal CSS. Always use external CSS. Now, there are multiple reasons for that. First, we need to understand why do we do it. Okay, why should we never? Now, what we have learned it. If we never have to use inline and internal CSS, why have we learned it? Because in an interview, they can ask you what are the different types of methods to put up CSS into your code, and they can ask you to code that. So you should be knowing about it, but you should never be using it practically inside of a project. The reasons for that is first, organized code. Now, if you are using inline code or internal code let's assume first inline code. Okay, if you're using inline code into your CSS files itself, your HTML file will become very big and very unorganized. The reusability of your code decreases drastically as well. So in an inline CSS, every single HTML line is now fused in with CSS. And that is not a good place. Otherwise, we could have directly used HTML to put up the style changes. We would have never invented CSS itself, because this is a very unorganized way of writing code. In a similar manner, in the in the internal CSS, if you are using at any particular point of time, your HTML file becomes way too huge. Even though now your HTML and CSS are segregated, are present in two separate blocks itself, but still the entire HTML file becomes way too huge for any person to use. And that is the reason why we usually make it like in two separate files. The HTML file is separate, the CSS file is separate, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Great, guys. Awesome. The next thing that you need to understand is that although like you are having your inline, internal, and external CSS, a good thumb rule is always to use external CSS. Now, in your daily life, you basically measure things in centimeters, in millimeters, in kilometers, maybe in miles. But inside of your computer, you cannot use these type of rulings itself. Inside of your computer, you have two units of measurements: an absolute unit of measurement and a relative unit of measurement, guys. Now we are going into the realm of measurements and everything, so that is going to be a little bit more tricky for us, but it will be very simple for today. Now, just to recap things, there were 2,400 people live with us. 2,600 people have filled up their attendance. That means everybody who was live with me in the class has filled up the attendance. Please, I have been taking up boot camps for the past 2 years. I've taken up more than 500, like 100, 200 boot camps as well. So I have a very good understanding about who is able to fill up the attendance and who is not. Now, if you guys have missed your attendances, do not make excuses for it. Own up to it that I was not present in the class, I was not focused in the class. That is the reason why I'm not able to fill up your attendance. I am able to understand that. If you still want your attendance, attend the classes properly, be on time, fill up the attendance on time, come to the class on time, be in the class, pay attention to the class. That is when you will be able to receive your attendance. Otherwise, they're like today, every single day, you will be missing out on your attendance. For those people who have missed out on their attendance, I'm just letting them know we allow one attendance to be missed. We are able to understand that out of the 7 days, you are not able to attend one day, and we take that up into consideration. So even if and missing one day attendance, if you are attending all the other classes properly, getting your attendance, you will still receive your certificates. But from tomorrow onwards, be on time. And today as well, we will be having two attendances, not just one. So we are going to have another attendance, maybe. Okay. So for those who have missed out on their attendance, be quiet, sit, listen to the class. If you say attendance once again, you are not going to get any attendance from us. That is the final call. I'm not going to change that at any particular point of time. I've just told you guys, if you are missing out on one attendance, we still give you guys the certificates. We take that into consideration. Okay. So right over here, guys, the next particular thing that we need to understand is absolute and relative units of measurement. So let me open up Paint right over here, guys. So relative, absolute. So absolute and relative. So what do you mean by an absolute unit of measurement? Let's assume we are talking about a road. Okay, let's assume this is a road that we are talking about. If I say that this road is 8 meters wide, guys, if I say that this road is 8 meters wide, then no matter if a bicycle or a ship or a truck or even a tank is going on this particular road, the width of the road will remain absolute. The width of the road will remain fixed itself. That's the reason why these are called as absolute unit of measurements. Because no matter what happens, the width of the road is always going to be the same. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Absolute unit of measurement basically means that if I'm saying that this particular road is 8 meters wide, then no matter if a bicycle is going on the road, if a truck is going on the road, the width of the road remains the absolute same. It does not changes with respect to anything. Okay. Whereas in the relative unit of measurement, if I say that this width of the road is 2 vehicles wide, if I say that the width of this particular road is 2 vehicles wide, so if a bicycle is going on this road, the width of the road will be equal to 2 bicycles. So it will be very thin. If a car is going on this particular road, the width of the road will be 2 cars wide. So it will be a little bit more thicker. If the width of the road is like a truck is moving on this road, the width of the road will be the width of 2 trucks. That is a very wide road, and so on and so forth. So your width of the road is totally dependent upon, it is relative to the width of the vehicle that is moving on top of it. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. In relative units of measurement, the unit is basically, the measurement is basically with respect to something. It is in relationship to something. So if that something changes, the width also changes, the measurement also changes. Whereas in the absolute unit of measurement, it is not with respect to anything. If you have said it is 8 meters wide, it is going to be 8 meters wide itself. It is not going to change with respect to anything. It is always going to remain the same. Are you guys able to understand this? If you're not able to understand what is the width of a road, what is a vehicle, what is 8 meters, then I should suggest you go back to second standard and start studying back from right over there. This is not even related to something that is related or remotely related to programming. This is basic common sense, basic logic, nothing too fancy about it. Okay, so now let us try to understand some of the absolute unit of measurements as well as the relative unit of measurements inside of web development. Now let us come to the very first task inside of that, guys. That is pixels. Okay, now pixels is a very very interesting as well as a like a very commonly known topic as well. I'm not talking about the Google Pixel mobile phone. I'm talking about pixels that appear on your screen. Now have you guys ever seen that when you come very close to the screen of your television or the screen of your mobile phone or the screen of a tablet itself or even a laptop, you start seeing small square boxes on your device itself? Have you guys done that? Like sitting very close to your TV and you guys are able to see some small squared boxes or some dots on your screen. Have you guys done that? Please let me know. Have you guys done that? Please let me know. Okay, I think so. ABC, a particular person as ABC is saying, don't bother anyone if they don't understand. That means you are not a good teacher. Again, I'm not a teacher. I'm just your friend. I'm trying to explain something. I'm going to pretend to be like that. Do not treat me as a teacher itself. I'm just here to have fun with you guys. Secondly, I think so. He needs to revise his ABC once again. So yeah, that is something that I wanted to say for a very long period of time. Great. So many of you guys have seen these type of small boxes. These are called as pixels or the smallest unit of any display out there. Whether it be a smartwatch, whether it be a television, a mobile phone, a desktop, a laptop, any type of screen that you are able to see is made up of pixels. You must have heard a 4K display or 8K display. You are having a 1080p display. So all this is with respect to pixels itself. Now let us look at something right over here, guys. Let us go back to our Google and let's search about a pixel. Okay, let's do an image search about a pixel. So this is how a pixel basically appears on your screen. So if you ever sit very close to your screen, you will see these type of boxes coming up on your screen. Now, each of these boxes actually looks something like this under a microscope. Each box has a blue, a red, and a green LED inside of it. Now, blue, green, and red LED that you are able to see right over here is basically constitutes what we call as the color theory. That any color in this world can be created by changing the saturation of a blue, green, and red color itself. Whether it be white, black, purple, pink, red, brown, any color in this world can be created using only these three base colors. And that is what basically constitutes your screen. They have these like inside of every pixel, you have these three LEDs, and they change the saturation of that to give you a color on your screen itself. Now, due to the fixed size of a pixel, so a pixel has a very fixed size, that is 1 by 96th of an inch. Okay, that is the fixed size of a pixel. 1 by 96th of an inch itself, guys. Now, because the size of a pixel is fixed right over there, you can basically say that, okay, I want this particular image to be 100 pixels, 1000 pixels in height. What we did with our Asta image, if you guys remember that. So if we go back, we'll bring back the Asta image right over here. So your IMG, and we'll have the SRC, and the alternate text. So if we go back to our website, as you're able to see, this entire thing is going to be pretty big for our website. Okay, if we refresh our page right over here, as you're able to see, this is pretty big for our website itself. We want to apply these style changes. I want to change the height of this image to 1000 pixels in height. So we can do that by going into our style.css. We'll select the image tag. We'll select the image tag and we'll apply the changes to it. That is HEIGST height. and we'll fix it up to be 1000 pixels. Let's fix it up to be 1200 pixels, and we'll save this. We'll go back to our website, refresh our page, and as you're able to see now, the height of our image is 1200 pixels itself. Now, because the pixels are fixed, the number of pixels are fixed, so it is basically referred to as a absolute unit of measurement, a very commonly used absolute unit of measurements. There are others like millimeters, centimeters that we usually use inside of our daily lives. It is actually used inside of this as well, but we avoid using that. We usually talk in digital currency, that is pixels. So we'll always use a pixel as an absolute unit of measurement itself. Are you guys able to understand pixels and how to use it? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand how to use pixels and what are pixels and how to use them? Great, awesome. So we'll stop right over here itself, guys, and we'll continue from tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be trying to understand percentages. We'll try to understand viewport height, viewport width, EM. Okay, all these advanced concepts as well inside of relative unit of measurements. We'll also learn something about classes, IDs, what, when to use, how to use them, as well as how can that be integrated with div tags to be understood a little bit better. That what is the utilization of a div tag, so all that we will be understanding in our tomorrow's class. I'll not be taking up any second attendance for today's class itself. I want those who have missed out their attendance to suffer a little bit for today, so that they actually turn out to be good on the second day of our classes. Okay, so tomorrow onwards, be on time. If you are missing out on one of the attendance out of the 7 days, we pardon it. We still give you guys the certificates because we are able to understand that sometimes you take things leisurely, or maybe you have some emergency and you were not able to fill up the attendance. But from tomorrow onwards, be on time, fill up the attendance properly itself, and yeah, that would be the case. Now we'll take your leave tomorrow. We'll try to finish up with most of the CSS stuff as well, so that we are able to start with JavaScript, and then we have to do the project as well. The project will have a lot of new concepts. Whatever we are studying right now are the basics, guys. In the project, we are going to look at very advanced topics as well. So there itself, I'll be teaching you guys all the advanced topics. You don't have to worry about it, so that you guys are able to understand the basics as well as the advanced topics. That is my aim. So we'll meet in tomorrow's class at the same time, and we'll continue from right over there. Again, there is no second attendance in today's class. We're taking up 2 attendance in tomorrow's class. Maybe beyond time, you don't know what will happen. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you, guys. And if you want to connect with me, I've already pinned up the link for my Instagram as well as my LinkedIn ID. You guys can definitely connect with me right over there. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye, guys.